welcome back to Blackphoenix Entertainment. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting, controversial, all this stuff. And I know a lot of people are like, this guy's always negative. This guy's always got something bad to say about Can Am. That's not always true. I do give them credit when credit is due, and when they do something that's worthy of praise. The past few years for their lineups, when they introduced the new models for the new years, have been so disappointing because so many people are asking for changes. They're asking for certain things on certain lineups, and it's like they just don't care. They're just totally just ignoring it and be like, no, we're going to do our own thing, and we don't give a crap what our customer base is asking for. So let's this is going to be kind of quick because there's nothing. Let's just dive into each one individually and go from there. So let's start with the Rykers. No changes. Big surprise. So I had said last year if there were no changes to the Ryker in 2025, it's a dead platform. And I believe that right now. Dead platform. Okay, you offer new panels. People wrap these things. Like, I'd like to see the numbers on how many people are actually buying the panels. Just saying, like, who's looking at it and being like, oh, we're selling so many panels for the Rykers that we should just keep coming out with new colors. I think it's just something that they do to make it look like they did something, some sort of change or whatever for the Ryker, instead of just absolutely nothing. That's what I believe. But since day one, there have been issues with the Ryker, especially with a lot of the electrical sensors and SAS sensor and stuff like that need to be fixed. And also, there needs to be a bump in power. Like, there just needs to be something to make it more sporty, something to bring people in, because that's your entry level, that's your base or whatever, to get people in here. Give it a little bit more. You know, it definitely needs something, and people have been suggesting it. I've been suggesting it. You've got this whole lineup of things, of 900 Rotex motors with different power levels, different options, turbos, all this stuff. You could drop right in there, and there's no way you can tell me that it doesn't, because people, not just me, other people have done their research and be like, dude, this drops right in. But hey, you know, what do I know? Whatever. So no changes to the Ryker whatsoever. In my opinion, it's a dead platform at this point. So let's move on to the Spyders. The F3s, RTs, no changes. Again, it's just not, and I say no because when you do little minimal stuff, it's like, okay, whatever, is it enough of a change for someone who bought a 2023 or 2024 to buy the 2025? That's how I look at it. In my opinion, again, this year, okay, you've got the new LCD screens and all this, you did LEDs, that's kind of stuff that you did last year, but still, like, in my opinion, for the Spyder lineup, I don't think there's enough for someone to be like, oh, I'm going to go buy a 2025 Spyder. What they also did was they dropped the F3 base and the S, I believe. Like, I'm still unsure about that, even that as of right now, me making this, the site is a little iffy. I don't know, but it looks like they might just be going with the touring one. Again, how are you supposed to get new customers in when the only thing you have to offer them on the Spyder lineup is this thing that costs like $26, $28, almost $30,000. Like, that's just crazy. And not everybody needs that touring thing. They don't want that. Maybe they just want the base model Spyder F3 and just be like, hey, I'm just going to go around town and do 50 miles a day or something. Like, stuff like that. And it's just like, again, thinking, when you do these new lineups and things like that, you're supposed to be thinking, okay, first of all, we want to fix some of the problems. Second of all, when we put something new out, we want to attract new customers. If you don't make changes or anything, you're not attracting new people. And the people who already have your product have no reason to upgrade or buy to another one. And I've been saying that for 3 years now. When people ask me, like, don't buy new. There's zero reason to buy a new Can Am on-road product right now. Go buy used, because they haven't changed for years. The F3 has been stale. And I've said it again for the past 3 years. For 8 years, there have been no changes to the F3 Spyder. And it's again, that segment of your customer base has been screaming for more power. I don't get it. I don't understand the mindset there at Can Am On-Road with, like, we're not going to give them power. We don't care. Like these heavy trikes that we load up and do things with, zero power. And the power is there. They're detuning these motors to make this power. It 0 cents to me. But, you know, there's an aftermarket, luckily, where we can spend even more money and, you know, get the power that we need and deserve for the product that we're buying. But, yeah, so, again, it's hard to find positives in something that isn't there. There's no changes to find a positive in. It's just like, okay, you did nothing. Okay, great. That is what it is, you know. You try to defend that. And now the part that most people have been waiting for. BPE's opinion on the Can Am Canyon. I just... facepalm, head slamming on desk moment for me. It's like, what the hell is that? Like, what? Like, who at Can Am said and signed off that this was a good idea? And most of all, who the hell asked for this? What segment of the customer base went to Can Am and said, we want an off-road adventure trike? I'd love to see the people that... Is there a list of names that somewhere on a forum group that said, hey, we would like this? And someone at Can Am said, hey, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's take a bunch of money and R&D, ignore the rest of our product line, do nothing to it, come out with something completely new that nobody asked for and that is an absolute train wreck that will not work. And you're saying, oh, why isn't it going to work? Or whatever. Have you ever actually been adventure riding and off-road on trails and things like that? Look at the vehicles that people use to do that. All right, 2 wheels, motorcycles, dirt bikes, adventure bikes, stuff like that. That makes sense. Everything else is 4-wheel drive. You've got ATVs, you've got side-by-sides, you know, all that type of stuff. And those trails are made for that. You've got ruts going through the woods and all this. You know, 4 wheels, 2 wheels, you can fit through one of the ruts, you pick one, and then 4 wheels, you know, you go whatever. You've got mud, you've got gravel, you've got tree roots, rocks, stuff like that, depending on what trail you're going on. Can you imagine trying to do that on 3 wheels? And it's still rear-wheel drive with the same amount of power. Sure, you've got an aggressive suspension, higher suspension, and tire, whatever. That's only going to do so much. You're not going off-road with this thing. People who buy this thing, they're not going on trails. Okay, you can go on a dirt parking lot or like a little dirt road or something like that, fine. That's what Rykers are for. The base model Spyders will do that. Like, that's not a huge deal. And also, it's still belt-driven. It blows my mind how this stuff passes through QA, through the design room and testing, be like, oh, this is a great idea. So they took a base model F3 frame, reskinned it, and that's the Canyon. They just added a whole bunch of stuff to it, same motor, same platform, same everything. And it's just like, again, who asked for this? Like, I'm just totally just mind blown at this point that that's where they put all their R&D and money and time to come out with something that's going to be DOA. And it's DOA, in my opinion, for several reasons. One, for what it is. No one's going to... Again, you're touting it as an off-road thing. No one's going to take it off-road. It's physically, mechanically impossible to do anything more than like a little dirt road with that. It's not going to happen. And the price point. Man, these things are $30,000, $32,000. Where's your market for that? I don't understand. And if you want, and look at the price point, $30,000, $32,000. Go look at the Can Am off-road. You can buy 3 ATVs maybe, 2 side-by-sides for that same money. Hell, go buy a Ryker Rally. The Ryker Rally will do the same exact stuff that this Can Am Canyon can do. Maybe I'm way off base here, but I don't see it. I don't understand it. You could have taken all that R&D, all that money and time for the Canyon, upgrade your Spyder lineup, and actually do something to the Ryker. Those are 2 things, the Spyders and the Rykers, that people have been asking for changes for years, and you haven't done it. And what you did in 2025 was you said, oh, hey, here's a brand new product, here's a Canyon, go ride it off-road. I I said it on Instagram, and I also said it on YouTube too, in a comment on that video, on the release video. Their entire team needs to be let go. Whoever was a part of that, whoever signed off on it, said this is a great idea, needs to be completely wiped out. All new fresh blood needs to go in there, and they need to start from scratch. Because this, again, it's hard for me because I like the product, I like the idea, I like the products. They got me riding again because of my health issues, but at the same time, it's like, what are you guys doing? It's just, it's crazy. I don't get it. It's like you want to ignore the people that got you to where you were in the first place and just do your own thing. And then wonder why people are so negative on your comments and everything. And that's another thing. Can Am is not receptive to criticism at all. Like constructive criticism. Like I am looking at this as constructive criticism. I don't think I've been bashing. I don't think I've been mean. I'm just being very honest with what I'm seeing. And I do that with my comments as well when I write comments on YouTube and stuff. They will come back vindictive and bitter. And that is not something I would like to see from a company. I would like to see someone in marketing actually be like, we hear you. We understand what you're saying. Let's talk about it. That's the correct response. When you release something new and everyone's like, no, we don't like this. Because I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people that are just in the same boat as me. Like, why? That's the biggest question. Why? Again, the major question is who asked? Who asked for this goddamn monstrosity? And then, there are going to be people that like it. They're like, oh yeah, that's awesome, that looks good. Again, that's subjective. You might like different body styles, stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just like the fanboys are always going to be the fanboys, no matter what Can Am does, no matter what company. You got the Harley ones, you got Yamaha, whatever. You're going to have that group that thinks the company can do no wrong. Fine, I'm totally cool with that. Not going to argue with you. I'm much more realistic. I want the company to be around. I want them to produce great products. I want them to make money because I want them to make more stuff. It's just extremely, extremely frustrating when you see stuff like this and you're like, that's the direction you're going? Like, again, theme of the video, who asked? I don't get the concept. It's just a mechanical fail, like on every level. Like, you look at their videos for the Canyon, the guy's not off-roading that. He's on trails, he's on little, like, again, dirt road parking lots, stuff like that. And where are you going to take that thing? For the money and all that. And you rope everything in, and again, for the money, the R&D, all of that, and ignoring the rest of the lineup that people have been screaming about. That's what I have a problem with. And I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what else. I've been very vocal about this. And people know me at this point. They know that I'm vocal. They know of me, all this stuff on the forum. And, the ambassadors aren't going to say, they're in their thing. I get it. But, man, something's got to change. So, there you have it. There's my honest review of the 2025 Can Am on-road lineup. Go down there, do all the fun YouTube stuff, do the liking and subscribing, do the sharing, and go check out my description because I got some cool stuff for your Spyder or Ryker from BLRtuning, Ironside Customs. And any money, I'm not monetized, so any money that I make on this channel through my merch or anything like that, the hat sales, goes to Moby Kit Rescue to save the kittens. So that's a good cause. And yeah, maybe at some point Can Am will hear our voices and be like, we hear you, we're going to make a change, we're going to give you the products that you like. That's all I can hope for. Anyways, thanks for rocking with the flock. See you guys on the next one.